grateful to God. That's all I can say this season. This win is not about me. It's for my coach, my family.
At 19 years old, she was penniless and thousands of kilometers away from home. No one believed she would ever achieve success. She posted a tweet of only 6 words to taunt her rival, who had just set a new record. "Your record won't last." 6 years later, she broke that record under the gaze of the whole world and even caught the attention of a key industry figure who had discovered Usain Bolt. Ijebu-Ode, a quiet trading town in southwestern Nigeria, had never been counted among the places that produced world champions. Located just 60 kilometers inland from Lagos, it had long been known for its local markets, not for sports medals. Tobi Amusan, who was born in this town in April 1997, was the youngest of 3 children in her family. Her parents, who worked as teachers, set a strict rule: academic work must always come before sports. This track and field athlete originally competed as a flat 200-meter runner. He won a silver medal at the African Youth Championships, and only a year later did he nearly by chance attempt the hurdles, where he unexpectedly displayed astonishing talent. This starting point of unplanned talent discovery through trial of new activities rather than adherence to a grand long-term plan is a common origin for many achievement-oriented careers. At the age of 18, she won the Intercontinental Junior Athletics Championship. At 19, she left her mother tongue, home country, and the stable routine of family life, and enrolled at the University of Texas at El Paso with an athletic scholarship. In her first semester at the school, she broke its 33-year-old hurdles record. Yet this achievement, which should have grabbed headline news, failed to do so. The headlines were instead dominated by another athlete's competition results. In July 2016, 1 week after American hurdler Keni Harrison failed to qualify for the U.S. Olympic team, she ran the women's 100-meter hurdles in 12:20 seconds, the fastest time in history. At that time, a 19-year-old freshman from Texas who was in her dorm watched this news report. Instead of feeling admiration, she was flooded with a different kind of emotion. "I picked up my phone and directly sent a tweet to Harrison saying that his record would not stand for long, and I would break it very soon. No one took this remark seriously. My personal best at that time was far behind the record, so everyone thought this was just empty." Bold talk common among young athletes. What no one knew was that I did not say this to show off recklessly. I made that claim only because I held an unreleased calculation plan in my hands. The breakthrough that almost didn't happen, nearly all of Amusang's highlight clips that went viral deliberately skipped the nearly 5-year hidden low-performing period before he reached the top. During that time, he always ranked outside the top tier and could not even be sure whether he would be able to close the gap with the leading competitors. At the 2019 World Athletics Championships in Doha, this female hurdler advanced to the final and finished 4th. This is a height that most athletes can hardly reach throughout their entire careers. Yet she was only a hair's breadth away from the podium and failed to earn any competitive honors. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, which were postponed to 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the first female athlete overcame the extra year of preparation pressure, reached the final again, and placed 4th for the second time. Another athlete, Amusang, claimed the runner-up position for the second consecutive time in top-tier competitions of the same competitive level. According to post-event disclosures from this track and field athlete's competitor, the athlete was at that time on the verge of withdrawing from the sport entirely. This was by no means a temporary slump in form or subpar performance limited to a single season. Rather, it stemmed from his long-held doubt that his career would always fall just short, that he would never reach the threshold of success. This female Nigerian track and field athlete chose to persist after she first thought of quitting. She gave up the idea of withdrawing from competition, returned to training, and stuck it out through several months of hard work. In the end, she won the championship at the Zurich Diamond League, becoming the first Nigerian athlete to claim the title at this event. She transformed from a former 4th-place finisher into a strong competitor who can consistently beat world's top opponents. The suspense surrounding the women's 100-meter hurdler's potential world record-breaking performance in 2022 has come to an end. First, she clocked a time under 12.41 seconds at the Paris leg of the Diamond League, then improved her result to 12.40 seconds at the Eugene leg. In the semifinals of the World Athletics Championships held at Hayward Field in Oregon on July 24th, she was drawn into the same heat as Keni Harrison. In the women's 100-meter hurdles final, the veteran athlete who had held the world record for 6 years ran her personal best time. However, a 21-year-old rising star broke the record with a time of 12.12 seconds. After crossing the finish line, she did not celebrate immediately. Instead, she stepped forward to hug and comfort the disappointed veteran. 90 minutes before the start of the women's 100-meter hurdles final at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Nigerian athlete Tobi Amusan completed a warm-up run and clocked a time of 12.06 seconds. This result could not be entered into official records because the wind speed exceeded the permitted limit at that time. In the end, she successfully won the championship, and this outcome perfectly matched the content of a previously overlooked tweet she had posted. The athlete, who had just broken a world record, immediately faced a new test as severe as the pressure he had accumulated over many years. The cardiac medication he had previously taken for medical treatment had been added to the list of banned substances, and it was detected in an early test. He was subsequently issued a temporary suspension that lasted for several months. He consistently denied that he had violated regulations intentionally, cooperated fully with the entire investigation, and was ultimately cleared of all suspicion of intentional rule-breaking. All titles and records held by Ariana Theodori, the world record holder, remain unmatched to this day. However, no medal could compensate for the mental toll she accumulated throughout her previous championship runs. After winning 2 silver medals at the 2023 Budapest World Championships and the 2024 Paris Olympics, she adjusted her competition preparation strategy. This is not marketing talk. This Jamaican training philosophy, which once shaped the young and inexperienced Usain Bolt into the greatest sprinter in history, is now being applied to Tobi Amusan, the active women's 100-meter hurdles world record holder and world number 1. Just 9 days ago, she claimed her 3rd championship title at the 2026 Diamond League Paris stage. This female track and field athlete has now clocked a time of 12.27 seconds under stable conditions. Next, she will compete at the Commonwealth Games to defend her title. In 2028, when she turns 31 years old, she will also aim to qualify for the Los Angeles Olympics under the guidance of her coach Glenn Mills. At that time, outside observers expect she will still hold the world record in her event. At that time, outside observers still predicted that she would firmly retain her world record in her event. This record had faced a challenge. American athlete Masai Russell narrowed the gap to just 0.02 seconds, yet the 12.12-second record still belonged to the female athlete from Ijebu Ode. Strip away the stopwatch and the medals, and this story isn't really about hurdles. It's about what happens in the 6 years between saying something out loud and making it true. Most people who declare a big ambition never get tested on it publicly the way Amusan did. She put her prediction on the internet in front of strangers at 19 years old and then had to live inside that promise through 2 fourth-place finishes, a near decision to quit, and a suspension that put her integrity on trial in public. The tweet didn't make it easy. It made it accountable. That's the part worth taking with you. Talent gets you the first tweet. What truly determines whether an online social media post serves as enduring proof of sustained development or is reduced to a forgotten old post of extreme sentiment is the action taken during the silent period when the event has concluded and no longer draws public attention. Tobi Amusan, the Nigerian sprinter, achieved her breakthrough precisely through 5 years of consistent effort that took place with no camera crews to document her progress. Have you ever experienced such a moment? The goals you once publicly set, the promises you made, and the self-positioning you assigned to yourself still lack that quiet, unobserved period of steady growth and accumulation to be fulfilled. Leave your answer in the comment section. Remember to hit subscribe, and the next friend who will share a similar experience might be posting their own story right now.